Hey guys, this is episode 7 of the Bmoney Beastin podcast. Today we're going to be talking about 10 essentials to build a winning program. I'm Bryson Drennan. My Instagram is the original Bmoney, and this is
Jesse Drennan at Bmoney Beastin Wrestling. Before we get started, though, we got a rant for the week. What have I been complaining about all week?
The Super 32 registrations on eBay.
Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever
Imagine
seen?
paying thousands for that and then missing weight.
Or going 0-2? I guarantee you there's somebody that bid, like, the last time I seen it, it was like $9,150 or something for like a girl's registration. If you take that money and split it up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, split it up.
That's like 30 registrations.
Something. If you take that money, though, and you split it up and you attend camps, clinics, whatever, you're going to get more for your money than trying to keep up with the Joneses because you missed registration. So, like, to me, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Also, shout out to Elite 8. The Elite 8 duels are going on today. Shout out to the Minion Legends team. Hope they do well.
Yeah, our hometown group, the Minions, Minion Training Center is out of Chattanooga. Minion Legends team's got a lot of local kids on it. Shout out to you guys. We're going to keep track of it. But today's episode, we're going to talk about what we feel like is essential to a successful wrestling program, right? We got 10 essentials to build a successful wrestling program. And there's the club in our area, the team club, whatever you want to call it, in our area that does this better than anybody's who?
Minion.
Cleveland, yeah. Cleveland. We're talking about schools, programs.
Oh, school programs, yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about training centers. Who does it better than anybody from to the bottom to the top?
Yeah.
Cleveland, right? Everything on this list, Cleveland High School in Cleveland, Tennessee does better than anybody in the state, in the tri-state area. It's unreal. We're going to start with our first essential, a solid feeder club, right?
There you go. Back to Cleveland.
But when the feeder club started up there, right, higher calling was like a concept. They had a handful of kids. Over the years, it's kind of built and morphed and grown. And now they split it up, beginners, whatever. A lot of these teams, like even in our area, you have like these youth clubs, but they start in like January and they end in March, right? Now you're getting some kids like some experience or whatever, but it's not very long.
Yeah.
They're not getting a lot of reps. And dude, like, you have to do more than 3 months, right? Like 2 or 3 months. So you need to build a club that has a structured training environment that's, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever, every week throughout the year. And then, like, not every kid, and the reason I say this, there are training centers in our area, but they're expensive, right?
They are.
Not every kid can go to a training center. So how do you fix that gap? You have to start building that within, right? And that's what Cleveland did really well, right?
Yeah. Like they started off with like the Jones Center. They had like the Jones Center built, and from there they started the higher calling club. And all those kids, they train for like 8-9 years, get to high school, and they're all killers.
Yeah, well, I mean, whenever you start, and when you start at a young age, and, they had about, 15, 20, 30 kids that were like 5, 6, 7 years old wrestling freestyle. Like, they offered their own freestyle program that's built in-house, too, and they do it every year. So, like, to the beginning and the foundation of any successful program is the feeder club, because these kids are going to keep growing up into your program. So essential one of building a winning program is to have a solid, structured feeder system. And you can't rely on always all the training centers around, which they're great, right? Like in our area, we've got Grindhouse and Minion. And isn't there any more? Is there more training centers?
That Rabbit Wrestling Club.
Rabbit, dude, he does a great job, and they're all that's a feeder club for the CCS, Chattanooga Christian.
Saudi Daisy.
Saudi Daisy has their own kind of built-in like feeder club, and they have a bunch of kids, and they won state last year in their division in Tennessee. So solid foundation, step one, essential one.
My team is Rockmart.
Yeah, Rockmart down in Georgia, they won
their
state.
takedown club and
They won state 3 years in a row, and they got a little takedown club. And the school wouldn't let them train inside their own facility.
Mhm.
So during the off season, so they started doing it in a church,
Yeah.
and they got 15, 20, 30 kids in there training in the off season in a church. So you can't tell me that's not feasible. If you want to build a winning program, solid feeder club, start them young,
Oh, yeah.
build them up. Essential number 2, have a high level coach.
gotta have one.
All right, so let's debate this for a minute. You were at the Ringo Lakeview game last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ringo won. What was the score?
41-27.
Something like that. Okay. Well, the point I'm going to make it this: if it was football, right, and the team was bad, say they lost 41-0, and they did that for 10 weeks, they're going to fire that coach, right?
Oh yeah.
He's done.
That's what's happened with like Ridgeland like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, but that's wrestling, right? As long as somebody's there to do it, 90% of the time they leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Win, lose, draw, whatever. Well, middle school programs, really there's typically like a football guy or a PE teacher or something running these middle school programs.
And it just don't work out.
And it doesn't work because they're not learning anything. They're not getting better. And, like you have to have like a high level coach, especially in the middle. So the feeder club should be a given that you have a coach that knows what he's talking about, that structures practices, whatever. But then across the board, so youth club, middle school, high school, you need a high level coach to keep building that foundation.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, what else do you need?
You need a utility coach.
You need a utility coach. What exactly do you feel like? I feel like that's Beastin.
Yeah, it's somebody that can train kids that are 6 years old to kids that are 17 years old.
And can run different practices, different.
Like girls practices, little kids practices, beginner practices, high school practices. You do it all.
And you can kind of move them around like wherever you need them at that point in time to build the program. You need that guy that can come in and really just be put wherever he's needed at that point in time and just kind of shuffle him around to cover whatever. And we were talking about Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Cleveland, that's Josh Beastin, right? Since we've known Beastin, he's been like, at one time he just ran the club, and then he was doing privates, and then I think he was the high school coach for a year.
I did a private with Tracy one time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I was hitting a duck under.
And then now he's the girls coach, and he still runs club, and you need that utility coach that can kind of cover different things. I think that's essential. What's our point number 3? Community support.
Yeah.
And we're going to put 3 and 4 kind of together, but we're going to start with 3 right now. Community support, right? We live in Ringgold, Georgia. Okay, so in Ringgold, it's not a big town, right?
Mm-mm.
It's a very small, like the
Pretty
city
small
limits
town.
are what, like 10 miles wide, like the city limits, like a square. And then now Catoosa County is kind of big, but there's 3 schools in Catoosa County, right? You got Heritage, and you got Lakeview, and you got Ringgold. Well, in our area, we don't have a big dynamic.
We have a little town area,
but there's not a ton of there are businesses within the town.
Yeah.
There are people within the town. Like last night, it was packed at the Lakeview Ringgold game, right?
It was, yeah.
Because that's a rivalry game in football. So how do you get that community support to support your wrestling program?
Right.
So that leads us into number 4. It is 2024. It's not 1985. What's something that a lot of teams are not utilizing to their advantage?
Social media.
Social media. The programs that are winning state every year, the programs that are, successful, what do you see all the time? They post 10 times a day, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, TikTok. They're promoting their kids. They're promoting their branding. They're promoting their teams. They're saying what we're doing now. They're saying, hey, we're working on this. We're having this event. Yeah. This brings essential 3 and 4 together, right? In 2024, you got older generation reading the newspaper, but outside of that, everybody gets their information off of what?
Social media. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So utilize social media to build your team. Like you're gonna have moms that are like scrolling right through, Facebook reels and see like your team training or whatever, drilling over here or whatever with some cool music and be like, hey, maybe I'll get my kid into that. And before you know it, it'll start expanding and growing and growing and growing. You agree with that?
Like something I did actually was I actually invited my friends and like showed them some like videos off of Instagram of our club minion, and they wanted to go and they went.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
like I utilized their social media to get them in there.
yeah, like social media is powerful and it doesn't cost you anything. And it just takes effort to develop content. And like in our area, right? Like I'm not bashing anyone, but like Cleveland posts all year, right?
Mhm.
The last Ringgold post that we've seen from the high school page was like in March, right? Or May or something. Like the youth club don't post except for the 2 months during the season. So nobody really knows, right, that anything's going on or anything could be going on. So like utilize social media. You have to catch people's attention. And that goes 3 and 4 essentials together.
Yeah.
You got to catch the community's attention to get community support. And when you win, that's a big thing too, right? You can promote that, but you have to catch their attention to build that community support. You agree with that?
I agree.
Essential number 5.
Utilize social media, which we kind
That
of.
was 4.
Yeah.
Read.
Be consistent across the board.
Be consistent across the board.
And that goes for everybody: coaches, wrestlers, parents. I mean,
the booster club people. Yeah. Here's the thing: being consistent across the board. Have a structured, from your feeder club to your middle school to your high school, structured training program year round. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Say October to November spoke style, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever you decide to do. Then you do a freestyle program through what? June?
Yeah.
About June. Not everybody's going to go to Fargo and things like that, but you can get extra mat time.
I will say, freestyle, Greco, and mainly freestyle. It helps you get better on your feet. It helps you get better at focus.
Especially now with the rule changes, right? So
I mean, 3-point takedowns are going to be that's going to be a priority. Yeah.
Well, I mean, on your feet, yeah, like it changes the dynamic of a match, right? So if you get taken down, you get a reversal, you're still down by 1.
Yeah, down by 1. You're going to have to cut and take them down.
So working on your feet, that freestyle, even if it's like an 8-week program in the spring, that makes a big difference, right? So be structured and consistent across the board. With your training schedules, your posting on social media, you're repping your brand,
your
workouts, everything. Just be consistent. Don't do it for a week and then don't hear from it for 3 weeks. Be consistent. That's all we're saying. That's essential number 5. Number 6.
Develop relationships with all wrestlers.
Okay.
As a coach, you don't want to. I mean, obviously you're gonna have your favorites, but you don't want to show your favorites. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have the top guys that you relate to, especially wrestling coaches, because they're so passionate about the sport itself, and it's exciting to see kids that are pretty good at it, right?
Oh yeah.
But you got this other group of kids that maybe they play football and baseball and they only wrestle in the winter or whatever.
But they want to get better.
But they want to get better.
See, you want to build a good relationship with them so you can also get their trust and they can get your trust.
Yeah, you want to build an individual coach, wrestler relationship with everybody, right?
Like if you trust your coach, you're gonna do what they tell you 99% of the time.
If you have a relationship with them, they'll run through a wall for you.
Yeah.
Right? Like Matt or Sean, right? You have relationships with both of them. If they said something to you, you'd run through a wall for them, right?
Exactly.
So develop a relationship.
Like about how the other night where we did sprints and frog hops for 45 minutes.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Rough? Yeah, but I did it.
Yeah. So no matter who the kid is, make it a priority to develop a relationship, coach, wrestler relationship with all athletes. The top kids, the middle of the road kids, and the kids that are beginners, novice, whatever. Build them all up the same and have a unique coach wrestler relationship with everybody across the board. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Number 7, build your brand. Who does that better than anybody? Cleveland. This is turning into Cleveland High School Wrestling's shout out right now. Boskin, we love you, dude.
Boskin's built up the Boskin trained wrestling camps really good too.
Yeah, the Boskin, he branded that too, the Boskin trained, which we got some shirts somewhere, right? Like something, bunch of them. But build your brand, right?
can't believe he said it. He said it on Facebook. He said, "I can smell it from here."
Oh, yeah. We posted a picture that don't fit him anymore. Funny story, and then we'll get back to building our brand. Funny story on the podcast. When he was 7 or 8, he went to the Boston train camp in Cleveland, Tennessee for the first time ever. And I went to pick him up, dropped him off Sunday, picked him up, Thursday? I think I've told this twice on the podcast now. And he would take a shower, and then he put the same clothes back on. So he had that same Boston train wrestling shirt on for 6 days, 5 days, or whatever it was. And I posted it the other day because I found it in an old box, and Josh Boskin says, "Dude, I can smell it from here." So that was cool. But back to building your brand. You want to make your club, your team, your city, everything, you want to make it so, where it gravitates people.
Yeah.
You want people to, you want people to wear your stuff, right? And rep your brand. You want to build this brand where it's cool. When it's cool, it attracts kids. So the reason I think, Minion's cool, right? If you look at the Alien and how they kind of built that since it was a Georgia travel team, kids gravitate to that because it's cool, right? And you need to build that. So for instance, Ringgold's Ringgold Tigers wrestling, right? So build around that. Build a unique whatever you are. Say it's John Smith High School, right? And they're the Chippewas. Get a graphic artist. Quantal Langford's our partner. He does amazing rebranding for schools. He's done most of them in our area, right? Like East Hamilton and Walker Valley and all kinds of them. And have your own unique, branding built, and really push that branding into the community through social media to grow your brand. So that's number 7, build your brand. Do you agree with that? Build the team, the school, the club, build it out all together, right? You agree with that? Mm-hmm. Number 8, build relationships with clubs, teams, training centers in your geographical area.
And what that means is if you want different practice partners in a high school room or something, say you can get another pretty good club around y'all. It's you're
geographic.
Geographic, and have joint practices maybe once a week or something, or maybe every couple of weeks or something. I mean, it'll definitely be good for your wrestlers to get a different feel instead of the same partners every day. Which even if you have a pretty good partner, you're always going to want to have somebody else that has a different feel that'll make you better.
Yeah, different look, different feel, different style. Kids wrestle different. For instance, lately they've been doing the club fests every 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, with the training centers, which is a pretty cool idea. They get a bunch of these training centers from the tri-state area, and they bring them all together. And now they used to do a bunch of live. Now they kind of get them together and wrestle matches, which is still a cool concept. But imagine in your area, say you're here. You're right here, and then you got, this team, this team, this team, this team. Mm-hmm. And I can understand if they're in the same, region or whatever. Yeah. But, in our area, Ringgold and Heritage are in 2 different classifications. Mm-hmm. I don't see why they don't come together and train once a week, every week. But, we had a thing where for a while, Gorilla would come up. We had a training center down in Rome that would come to Ringgold, and we'd do these Sunday practices. So, develop relationships with your training centers and your clubs and your other high school teams, and work out a deal where you'd be okay, guys, every other Thursday we'll come together and have a joint practice together, or whatever the case may be, and it'll elevate both teams, which is good for everybody. Number 9, and Cleveland does this the best too in terms of a school team. Wrestle high level competition. Now I want to give a shout out to Murdoch, right? Derek last year, it's the first time Derek Murdoch, who we're going to have on the show at some point, he texted me this morning and said we're going to get an episode in. He's the middle school coach at Ringgold Middle School, right? Yeah. And dude, last year he was the only coach that I think in that whole league, middle school league, that took his team to other duels, right, to wrestle better kids. And how we won the traditionals and the duels in the middle school, right?
And we won the state duels.
And we won the state school duels last year.
And we only brought one extra.
Yeah, and we only had one
guy from a different team.
One guy from a different team, and that was the Chickamauga kid.
Yeah.
So won the NGAC traditionals, the duels, and the state dual school division in Georgia. So why did that happen? Well, I mean, he had some good pieces that were kind of built already, but then he built these other kids and took that team.
Like a kid named Gavin Allardine. He I was actually my partner last year. I mean, I really see something in him getting better. And like with Murdoch's coaching and him being a good partner for me, he got better just by doing that.
Yeah, and you can do that.
And like in 2 months, he jumped levels like 3 or 4 levels.
Yeah,
just like that.
But you have to wrestle better competition. That's what we're getting at. And he was the only one, I think, in that whole league that was taking this middle school team to all these other duels. And I think we won most of them.
Yeah, we
got top 3.
Like the only one I don't think we won was like I remember walking to the middle school office last year and like there's all these like trophies that they didn't put up yet, and 75% of them were wrestling trophies. It was all wrestling trophies, and a couple extra were like maybe like a basketball and a cheerleading trophy. I don't know, but like we really like the only duel I think we lost was the one that we wrestled against. Macaulay was in it.
And Cleveland, and we wrestled that team that barely lost to Cleveland, and they barely beat us. It was like a 3-point match in both of them, the duels.
And we got 4th.
Yeah, we ended up 4th. That was the only one, the lowest, and they only placed top 4, so we found a way to get in there. But the point I'm making is wrestle higher competition, right? Yeah. And he took a bunch of middle school kids down to knockout last year to get them some experience too. Cleveland's done that forever, right? They go to everything, Fargo and Super 32 and everything. They bring these kids to get them competition. Mm-hmm. So to build your program, you got to wrestle people better than you, right? Mm-hmm. Even if you go to take your kids to a training center twice a week, Scottsboro, Alabama, right?
Oh yeah, their coach brings up kids like they're pretty good up to Minion, and they've been getting better.
And he puts them on like a charter van or something that they bought, and they drive the hour drive to Minion and the hour back, and he brings the whole team. And they won state in Alabama last year. So even if it's in a practice room, wrestle better competition. You can't flip-flop around with some kid that really doesn't want to be there and expect for you to improve. So find competition for your wrestling team.
Oh, yeah.
Number 10. We're at number 10.
Implement in-season and off-season weight training / conditioning / training program.
We're just going to call it training program, but in-season, off-season training program. Mm-hmm. At the start of every year for a wrestling coach, like, wrestling season in high school starts what? In like November
and goes through.
But practice starts in like October.
Yeah.
Okay. So you would want to, like in August, late August, you would want to structure out what we're going to do October, November, December, January, February, and that goes through state. And then you'd want to maybe give a 2-week break, and then, okay, we're going to do this through freestyle season to this, and then we're going to hit the summer. We're going to work out this many days. We're going to go to these camps. We're going to do these practices, and structure that for the entire year.
See, I still actually, some opinion of mine, I hate that wrestling season is literally in between Thanksgiving break and Christmas break. Because you have like Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner, and most of those like teams, like they won't practice during that time, and kids will start getting pretty heavy. And like I just don't agree with it being a fall sport.
It's a winter sport.
I mean a winter sport. Sorry.
Well, I mean it's never going to change, so get used to it. But that's another part of it, right? Like we've talked about weight cutting and things. If you want to wrestle, you got to make weight. That's just part of it. So like that's a whole nother topic. But structure that out for the whole year. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Like for the whole year, this is what we're doing. And then allow time in your structure. If you got kids that want to go to a training center, okay, well, they can go these days, and then we can do our thing here. And structure it out for the whole year. And post it month to month to month. Community support, social media, essential 3 and 4. So structure out your training program.
Yeah. Where
you're drilling, live matches, lifting, whatever,
conditioning,
camps, clinics, tournaments, structure it all out like at least 9 months in advance.
Yeah. And see, like all 10 of these, they kind of come together. And they all
they're little pieces that build out.
Yeah.
Right.
Like every single one of those. If you have at least I'd say honestly at least 8 or 9 of them, you're gonna do pretty good.
The biggest ones to me is you need a feeder club. Your coaching has to be up to par. You need to be structured. It don't need to be all over the place. You need to be structured. And on top of that, you need to be developing relationships with the community, with the other clubs and training centers,
and your
wrestlers, and have a structured program. You do that, night and day difference year over year of what your results will be. I'll just say
I would
that.
say this team in Ohio State Parents Grand, like whenever they had Jeff Jordan as their head coach, they won like 16 straight.
I think it was 18, and they're still winning them today.
Yeah, oh yeah, but he won 18 straight with them and a couple national titles, and basically he had all 10 of those on that team.
He absolutely did, and it's just organization, structure, consistency, continuity. We hope this helps. If any coaches see this, this is what we think will help you build a successful winning program.
Oh yeah. With that being said, though, we're gonna play a game of Matt Clash.
We're gonna play one game of Matt Clash this week, episode 7.
And I think he's up 8-7.
I think it's 8-7 is the record right now. Yeah. You want to give an update on your shoulder?
1 second. Yeah, my shoulder it's actually doing very good. I haven't been feeling anything.
I had a 3-point takedown. He had a negative 1 point stalling. So
yeah,
I am gonna start the game. With that being said, how's your shoulder? You were kind of mumbling there.
It's honestly feeling pretty good, dude. Like I don't have any pain in it ever.
So you think
the PRP shot definitely works. So guys up there, anybody has like a torn something, I feel like you should definitely get that shot. It's pretty expensive, but it's definitely worth it.
So you think you'll be ready for the start of the season?
I'm already ready.
What weight you going for sure?
113.
113. All right. I'm playing takedown.
Defense.
And we're gonna put it in the negate pile.
Yep.
Takedown.
Defense.
We're gonna put it back in the negate pile. Let's see. Takedown.
Reversal. Momentum. Near fall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna reversal.
Let me draw quick to see what he's gonna do. Reversal. Easy.
Matt Beast.
Beastin wild card.
Oh man, I had the Matt Beast card and he had the Beastin wild card.
I'm pretty sure that was your first draw too.
Putting it back in the negate pile.
Yep.
All right, so I'm on bottom. Escape reversal.
Okay. Let me put this down. I really think I need something. All right. Escape. Momentum. Takedown.
Oh man.
I'm killing him.
Reversal.
Escape.
All right. Stalling.
Please don't get
Oh yeah.
I'll do this game.
Let's see. We're neutral.
Well, you have one more draw.
We're neutral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's game. All right, so
I think I won.
I think you won. Let's see what it is. So there's 2 points for you.
Thank you.
But you got one too. You played, didn't you?
Yeah.
So let's offset
Well,
that.
I think. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. So we'll put this. You got 1 extra point there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 points for me.
13-9. He won this week, which makes our overall 8-8, 8-8.
Yeah.
8-8 overall. 13-9 decision. The original Bmoney over at Bmoney Beastin Wrestling.
Guys, if you want to actually get this game, you can get it at bmoneybeastin.com, and they actually we have a QR code on the back for the rules. Just scan it out on your phone or whatever, and it'll give you the full rule book.
You can also add a PDF, and you can print. It'll send you a link where you can print the rules during checkout. So, episode 7, Bmoney Beastin podcast. We're really enjoying doing this with you guys. Last week we did the draft. This week we're doing talking about what we think would build a winning program. Really, just guys, it takes effort. Anything in this world that you want, you got to work at it. Like, we're getting better week to week, you think, at the podcast, right? Like, we're no way, like experts at this. We're just having fun with it. We're trying to get better at it each week. And that's what you do in the sport of wrestling. One day you start and you just start. You just begin and you just get better and better and better. You just work at it, right? It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing that good ever happens overnight. But if you want to grab Matt Clash, bmoneybeastin.com. $15 plus shipping and handling. Anybody who wants it, shipping shouldn't be more than $5 anywhere in the country.
I like that. That was pretty good.
So
like a commercial right there, shipping and handling.
Yeah, yes. I think we shipped some out yesterday to like Kentucky and Illinois or something like that, and I think it was like under $4. So $15 plus shipping and handling. Bmoneybeastin.com. Episode 7.
In the books.
Show up, show out.